Welcome to War Bios, the podcast where we delve into the intricacies of military history's most pivotal conflicts. I'm your host, General Biography, and today we're going to explore one of the most fascinating and complex episodes in Chinese history, the Battle of Guilin during the Taiping Rebellion. This epic struggle, which lasted from 1850 to 1864, was a civil war that ravaged the Qing dynasty and left an indelible mark on the nation's psyche. As we set the stage for our journey into the heart of this conflict, let us first immerse ourselves in the precursors and origins of the Battle of Guilin. It is here, amidst the lush landscapes and majestic karst formations of Guangxi province, that our story begins to unfold. The year was 1851, and the seeds of rebellion were sown in the nearby village of Jintian, where a failed civil service candidate named Hong Xiuquan would become the charismatic leader of the Taiping Rebellion. Hong's movement, fueled by a unique blend of Christian millenarianism and Chinese folk religion, gained momentum as it spread throughout the southern provinces. The Taiping's message of social justice, equality, and resistance against the Qing dynasty resonated deeply with the peasant class, who were burdened by heavy taxes, poverty, and social inequality. As the movement grew, Hong Xiuquan proclaimed himself the heavenly king, and his cousin Hong Rengan played a crucial role in shaping the Taiping ideology and military strategy. The Taiping's early successes were marked by a series of victories against local Qing forces, including the capture of the city of Yong'an in 1851. This initial triumph emboldened the rebels and attracted more followers to their cause. The Qing government, however, was not about to let the rebellion go unchecked. In response, the Qing court appointed the seasoned military leader Xiang Rong to lead the campaign against the Taipings. Xiang Rong, a veteran of several campaigns against the Miao people in Guizhou province, brought a wealth of experience and knowledge to the battlefield. He implemented a series of innovative tactics, including the use of local militias and guerrilla warfare, which helped to slow down the Taiping advance. The stage was set for a bloody and decisive conflict, one that would determine the fate of Guilin and the future of the Taiping Rebellion. As we explore the earliest history of the Battle of Guilin, it becomes clear that the conflict was not just a simple rebellion against the Qing dynasty, but a complex and multifaceted struggle that involved social, economic, and cultural factors. The Taiping's use of Western-style military tactics, their emphasis on social justice, and their blend of Christian and Chinese folk religious beliefs all contributed to a unique and fascinating historical phenomenon. The city of Guilin, with its stunning natural beauty and strategic location, was a crucial prize in the conflict. Perched on the banks of the Li River, Guilin was an important center of trade and commerce, and its capture would give the Taipings control over a vital transportation route. The Qing government, determined to hold on to this key city, poured troops and resources into its defense. The fate of Guilin, the future of the Taiping Rebellion, and the course of Chinese history hung in the balance as the two sides engaged in a struggle that would leave an indelible mark on the nation's psyche. The year was 1852, and Xiang Rong's innovative tactics had initially slowed down the Taiping advance. However, the rebels' sheer numbers and determination eventually led to a series of brutal battles that pushed the Qing forces back. One notable example of the Taiping's military prowess was their use of trench warfare, which allowed them to hold off the Qing armies despite being outnumbered. The Taipings dug elaborate networks of trenches and fortifications around Guilin, using the city's unique karst landscape to their advantage. These defensive positions enabled them to withstand repeated Qing assaults, inflicting heavy casualties on the government forces. Meanwhile, Xiang Rong continued to adapt his tactics, employing local militias and guerrilla warfare to harass the Taiping flanks and disrupt their supply lines. However, the Taiping's leader Hong Xiuquan remained resolute, convinced that his movement was destined to overthrow the Qing dynasty and establish a heavenly kingdom on earth. As the conflict raged on, the city of Guilin became a key battleground, with both sides suffering heavy losses. The Qing government poured more troops into the fray, but the Taipings held firm, buoyed by their conviction in their cause. The war had become a test of endurance, with each side trying to outlast the other. The turning point came in 1853, when the Taipings launched a daring assault on the Qing-held city of Nanjing, which they captured after a brutal siege. This victory gave the Taipings control over the Yangtze River, allowing them to threaten the Qing capital, Beijing. The Qing government, realizing that the war was far from won, redoubled its efforts to crush the rebellion. In Guilan, the fighting continued unabated, with both sides employing increasingly desperate tactics. The city's population suffered greatly, caught in the crossfire between the two armies. As the war dragged on, the once beautiful city became a scarred and battered landscape, its people traumatized by the constant violence. Despite these challenges, the Taipings remained determined to capture Guilin, which they saw as a crucial prize in their struggle against the Qing. The city's strategic location, perched on the banks of the Li River, made it a vital transportation hub, controlling access to the southern provinces. The fate of Guilin, the future of the Taiping Rebellion, and the course of Chinese history hung precariously in the balance. By 1864, the Qing government had regrouped and launched a series of successful counterattacks against the Taipings, pushing them back from their strongholds in southern China. The final blow came when the Qing forces, led by General Zheng Guofan, captured the Taiping capital, Nanjing, in July 1864. Hong Xiuquan, the leader of the Taiping Rebellion, died during the siege, and his successor, Hong Xiuquan, was killed soon after. The rebellion began to crumble, and by the end of 1864, the Qing government had largely restored control over southern China. The human toll of the war was staggering, with estimates suggesting that between 20 and 30 million people died during the conflict, making it one of the deadliest wars in Chinese history. The city of Guilin, once a thriving cultural and economic center, lay in ruins, its population decimated by years of fighting and famine. The aftermath of the war saw significant changes in the Qing government's approach to governance. Recognizing the need for reform, the Qing government implemented a series of modernization efforts, including the establishment of new military academies, the promotion of Western-style education, and the encouragement of foreign trade and investment. These reforms helped to strengthen the Qing dynasty, but they also created new social and economic tensions that would eventually contribute to its downfall. The legacy of the Taiping Rebellion can still be seen in modern China, where it is remembered as a pivotal moment in the country's struggle for independence and self-determination. The rebellion's emphasis on social justice, equality, and anti-imperialism continues to inspire Chinese people today, and its impact can be seen in the country's ongoing efforts to balance economic development with social welfare and environmental protection. The bravery and determination of the Taiping rebels, the resilience of the Qing government, and the devastating consequences of war all combined to create a complex and multifaceted narrative that continues to fascinate and inspire us today. In the words of the Chinese historian Jonathan Spence, the Taiping Rebellion was a great upheaval, a time of chaos and destruction, but also a time of hope and transformation. As we reflect on this pivotal moment in Chinese history, we are reminded of the enduring power of human resilience, the importance of social justice, and the ongoing quest for a better future that continues to drive China forward today. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm General Biography, reminding you to keep marching toward victory.